All right. Welcome on in, James, over on the YouTube side of things. Thank you for joining me tonight live. We are live on YouTube and Twitch. It is WWE Money in the Bank. An epic night where the unpredictable happens. Including the newest edition of tonight that we saw earlier today, based on what took place at Worlds Collide. You saw that confrontation between Mysterio and Octagon Jr. That happened at Worlds Collide. It was just moments after Octagon Jr., Aerostar, and Mr. Iguana overcame Joaquin Wilde, Dragon Lee, and Cruz del Toro. So looks like Octagon Jr. is doing double duty tonight. I do want to make an interesting announcement. Tonight is the first night I'm ever doing this. I'm trying something new. I am going to be posting tonight's my daily video mid-show from one of the matches that are recorded from the live commentary. It's going to go straight up onto the YouTube page to be daily number video 400 and give me a second. 477. It'll be day number 477, so that should be interesting. I'm getting some last minute things created so that I can make sure we're all ready to go for tonight. Just because I'm going to try and get the first video. I'm pretty much going to do the first video that I record. That's going to be the video that gets uploaded on the channel. So let's see how this goes. I'm going to try something different. Taking a big risk tonight. I usually play it safe and really record ahead of time. But, I'm always trying something new. See how things play out. All right. That's taken care of. Let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at tonight's card. Let's go from top to bottom. We got Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso versus John Cena and Logan Paul. There's a lot going on here. Cody Rhodes losing the Undisputed Championship to John Cena at WrestleMania 41. But we hadn't seen Cody Rhodes since WrestleMania 41 after losing John Cena, but that was up until Saturday night's main event when Jey Uso would defend his World Heavyweight Championship against Logan Paul. But ahead of Jey Uso's big match against Logan Paul, well, you know, John Cena had some choice words, I would say. John Cena was like, nope. I'll make sure I ruin this. We're going to ruin that too. No world title for you. And it's going to go on a YouTuber. And I don't know why Logan Paul would even team up with John Cena after the backhanded compliment, or just disrespecting what Logan Paul has built as an empire. But nonetheless, John Cena, Logan Paul, Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso, star-studded tag team match. And then we have the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. The only man in this match that has actually ever won the men's Money in the Bank is Seth Rollins, winning the 2014 men's Money in the Bank ladder match, and would go on to successfully cash in what is considered one of, if not the greatest cash-in of all time, cashing in the main event of WrestleMania 31, when he would cash in the match between Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. That was for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Rollins would leave as champion. But the thing is, will Rollins leave tonight as Mr. Money in the Bank when he's got to deal with Solo Sikoa of this Bloodline 2.0? He's got El Grande Americano, who's on the rise. El Grande Americano survived AJ Styles and CM Punk this past Monday on Raw. The megastar LA Knight, who had a lot of heat to pack, a lot of heat to push, coming out of that mouth last night on SmackDown. And Andrade, former two-time United States champion, yet to hold a world title in this industry, and to hold the world title in this company, in the WWE. Now's the opportunity. Take your shot, King. El Idolo looking to become Mr. Money in the Bank. And then talking about a hot rising star who's bringing the heat. He shows zero fear. He is Penta, a man who made his debut back in January on the second edition of Monday Night Raw in the Netflix era, or of the Netflix era, rather. Penta has been shaking waves in the WWE Universe and has easily become one of the hottest stars in WWE. And with all that momentum behind Penta, what does that mean for Penta heading into this match? It's a big opportunity. And for Penta, he's no stranger to ladder matches either. So with all these things going on in this match, you got to think Seth Rollins is the guy. But you also have to think, with everything that's gone on with Seth Rollins since WrestleMania, that he's the biggest target to take out of the match. So it could go either way. Rollins could leave as Mr. Money in the Bank, or he's the first one to be taken out of the equation. And then we get to the women's side of things. In this match, just like the men's one, only one has been a former Money in the Bank winner, that being Alexa Bliss. That was 7 years ago. Alexa Bliss would go on to successfully cash in and become the WWE Women's Champion. And the thing is, you got stars like Rhea Ripley and Naomi as well, who have been with WWE for quite a while. Naomi on her second run. The second time around, Naomi, Rhea Ripley. This is another experience. Now they get to shake things up with some of the newer stars, like a Roxanne Perez, like a world-traveled star like Julia and Stephanie Vaquer. There's a new vibe in WWE with the likes of Vaquer and Julia. So you got to wonder, what do they add to this equation? They're both hungry. They both worked their way through the independent scene. And Rhea Ripley, a woman who has done a lot in the women's division, but has never competed in a ladder match. How does Rhea Ripley fare in this? That's what I'm wondering. How does Rhea Ripley fare in a situation like this? It's a new environment for Rhea Ripley. And that can be a little bit scary for some. But we've seen Rhea Ripley face some of the toughest moments of her career right in front of our very eyes, including one of the biggest moments where Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair had what was one of the greatest matches of WrestleMania 39, where Rhea Ripley would leave as champion. But we get to something that is as personal, as brutal as it gets. I'm talking about Lyra Valkyria and the man, Becky Lynch. The Women's Intercontinental Championship is on the line. Who wants it? Becky Lynch said, all right, I'll never challenge you again if you win the match. I will relinquish all potential opportunities as long as you're still champion. If and only if Lyra can win the match. While Lyra has 2 victories now over Becky Lynch, let's think about it this way. Anytime that Becky Lynch has put this much kind of pressure on herself, she's overcome the odds. She's the winner of the first all-women's WrestleMania main event back when it was only a one-night premium live event. That was WrestleMania 35 at MetLife Stadium in New York. Becky Lynch has overcome the odds. That night, it was Charlotte. It was Ronda Rousey. And now Becky Lynch has put the stakes for herself even higher by taking away that potential opportunity to challenge for the title again. And with all these issues, Lyra said, you've now angered me. Now I'm angry. What does an angry Lyra Valkyria in full potential, in full angry mode, what does that look like for this match? What does that look like when she stands up to Becky Lynch? Does that mean her mind's going to get clouded? Does that mean she's even more focused? There's multiple ways to look at this. Realistically, on the one side, you've got, okay, my mind, little bit, I'm focused now. The anger that's filling me with rage, that I'm just feeling the rage from being blindsided by Becky Lynch, that can be used to fuel. That can be used to help keep focus. But what can also do, if you have that too much of that anger, you're overexposing yourself to potentially losing your Women's Intercontinental Championship if you're Lyra Valkyria. Where do you go? What do you need to do if you're in this situation? Lyra's now angry. She's now let this get to her head. But what about Becky? We've seen it get to her head a little bit. But how much? Is Becky more focused than she's ever been? Becky, the veteran of the two in this situation, who takes it home? Becky Lynch or Lyra? Becky's put the pressure on herself, and Becky always seems to get the job done when the pressure is on. But Lyra, since winning the title back in January, has proven to be a dominant inaugural women's intercontinental champion. And now we look at the most recent made match for the night. Octagon Jr. of AAA. This took place at AAA times NXT's Worlds Collide, when the worlds collided between WWE's newest acquisition, AAA, and the brand of the future, NXT, in which we saw Octagon Jr., Aerostar, and Mr. Iguana. They would go on to defeat Joaquin Wilde, Dragon Lee, and Cruz del Toro in 6-man tag team action. But at the end, Dominic Mysterio would come out to have quite the interaction, quite the confrontation with Octagon Jr., in which now Octagon Jr. has the opportunity of a lifetime to challenge for a title that has been held by some of the all-time greats. With the Intercontinental Championship on the line, Octagon Jr. makes his WWE Premium Live debut. This is the 20th Money in the Bank ladder match. 20 years of Money in the Bank. Going back to WrestleMania 21, just down the road in LA. But the Intuit Dome is the host, and LA is the host of tonight's Money in the Bank. And like I said, there's all kinds of action, including this big Intercontinental Championship match I mentioned. Big opportunity for Octagon Jr. Will he step up to the plate? Or will Dominic Mysterio continue his reign of dominance? It's about to be Money in the Bank time, guys. It's Money in the Bank here at the Intuit Dome. We have a massive tag team match. Look at this. Jey Uso, the world champion, teams up with the former undisputed champion, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. And they take on this man, the social media megastar, the Maverick, Logan Paul, who looks to become world champion after what we saw last night on SmackDown. Well, as well as John Cena. And a must-win coming up for Becky Lynch, who challenges Lyra Valkyria for the Women's Intercontinental Championship once again. And speaking of Intercontinental Championship, Dominik Mysterio now finds himself with a last-minute match after a confrontation with Octagon Jr. at Worlds Collide that took place earlier. And the stakes are high. Climb the ladder. Grab the briefcase. You can call yourself Mr. and Mrs. Money in the Bank. Seth Rollins said he wants to control the future, control the narrative of WWE, have the future in his hands. That's what Rollins is looking to do. Alexa Bliss, a former Miss Money in the Bank, in her own right, looking to reclaim some old glory and looking to find her way back at the top of the mountain. And a former two-time U.S. champion and the megastar LA Knight looking to become Mr. Money in the Bank. And the Eradicator, Rhea Ripley, a woman who has never competed in a ladder match, will do so tonight. Can she do it? And it's all about Money in the Bank. You are getting a look at the live sold out Intuit Dome here in Los Angeles, California. It is Money in the Bank, where 6 men and 6 women have the chance to become the wild card of their divisions, as they can cash in anytime, any place, when they become Mr. and Mrs. Money in the Bank. And from ringside, I am Sam, aka Hype the Commentator, and it is a pleasure to be your special guest commentator here tonight for Money in the Bank. Marcelo Rodriguez and Jerry Soto joining us tonight for the Spanish commentary. We're heading up to the ring. Let's go to the great Alicia Taylor. And Alexa Bliss. This is her 4th career ladder match. She has quite a bit of experience heading in this match. Let's not forget, she's done it before, and she could very well do it again. She cashed in on Nia Jax to become the women's champion, and, well, for Alexa Bliss, with the experience in her favor of being a part of that 100% success rate of women's Money in the Bank cash-ins, the ball might be in Alexa Bliss's court. But then you look to the future. You go from a 5-time women's champion to a woman who's just getting her start. Roxanne Perez. She's the prodigy, and this is her first ever Money in the Bank ladder match. A huge opportunity to make a statement. She hasn't even been on the main roster for a full year yet. An absolute huge opportunity. And she's done the Royal Rumble. She's now done Elimination Chamber. And now she gets to participate in Money in the Bank with the opportunity to get herself in the spot that she wants to be in. For many, it takes a long time to find yourself in the right position to get yourself in a match for the world title. But this gives you the opportunity for any time and any place. This match presented to you by Wheatley American Vodka. Have an American Mule with Wheatley American Vodka. Naomi, now competing in her 5th career Money in the Bank match, has never won the Money in the Bank, however, a former 2-time women's world champion. So she already knows what it's like to be the women's world champion. And when you've been in that spot tonight's just going to show how badly she wants to be in that position again. You crave it. It's when you've had something once and you want it again. It's like you never think you'll have it again, but now's an opportunity. And with, like I said, 100% success rate for women's Money in the Bank winners, making it a very high likely chance that this year's Money in the Bank winner will go on to successfully cash in. And you see her gear says caution. Well, you better beware of this new version of Naomi. And speaking of being on the rise, this woman, La Primera, looking at Stephanie Vaquer. And she competed earlier today at Worlds Collide, and now she's doing double duty. From last night to a 6-woman tag to tag match earlier at Worlds Collide to Money in the Bank. Stephanie Vaquer showing that she is a workhorse, but is that a detriment? I gotta ask, is that a detriment to her in this match? And an international superstar, the beautiful madness that is Giulia. And she's got her sights set. She wants gold, whether that be through Zelina Vega or that be with a guaranteed contract of becoming Miss Money in the Bank. Anything is possible when you have the star power of Giulia. Giulia, much like a Stephanie Vaquer, much like a Roxanne, have spent very little time on the main roster, but have already sent shockwaves to make their presence known. Download WWE Slam today on the App Store and get it now on Google Play. And how could you forget about this woman? It's time to lose the roof of the Intuit Dome. Rhea Ripley, who just blew the roof off this place. This is a woman who has done it all except this. This is her first time ever competing in a ladder match, let alone Money in the Bank. That's not happened for her quite yet. Rhea Ripley, who's been looking to get back in world title contention, has had some roadblocks get in her way as a two-time women's champion. Now she has the chance to just put herself right back in the conversation. A conversation that she really should have never left. And Rhea Ripley being the final piece to this equation of what is about to be every woman for themselves. And now the bell rings. One of these 6 women will be able to call themselves Miss Money in the Bank. Alexa Bliss has already done so before. Can she do it again? You've got somebody like Naomi, a multi-time women's champion. You've got a Rhea Ripley, who's competing in her first, but has done some incredible things, proving to be one of the hottest stars in WWE over the last few years. Then you have the likes of a Stephanie Vaquer. You've got a Julia. Those who have made their names internationally and have been working their way through the main roster after coming up from NXT. Much like a Roxanne Perez, who, the young up-and-comer, working her way up and would love to put herself right at the front line of the women's division and be that wild card and just have that hanging over both world's champions. Whether that be Tiffany Stratton or Io Sky. Look at that innovative, temporary teamwork of Rhea Ripley and Alexa Bliss taking out Naomi. And now it comes down to Rhea Ripley and Alexa Bliss. Alexa was going to go after the ladder, but Roxanne and Julia come right back into the equation. Roxanne Perez has had an interesting last few weeks, kind of trying to prove herself to the Judgment Day, that she belongs with the Judgment Day. And Stephanie Vaquer flying out of nowhere with a cross body and a neat defeat to Julia. And it's Roxanne who gets caught, and so does Julia. Oh, it could be time to take. Boom! And there goes Roxanne out of the equation. And now this could be Vaquer's opportunity. Oh, what a roundhouse kick. And the flexibility and the athleticism of Naomi working into her favor right now as she looks up at the case with that contract of gold. No. Oh no, this isn't going to be good. Driving Rhea Ripley face first as her head bounced off the ladder. But you might want to turn around because there's somebody twisted behind you. What a slap and some heavy shots from Bliss, who sends Naomi face first. And the ladder, much like Perez. And a senton to Perez and Naomi. And now it's Bliss, who is showing an unblissful experience for Roxanne Perez and Naomi. And speaking of unblissful experiences, that drop kick from Julia takes out Alexa Bliss. And now it's Julia with that ladder in hand. Julia, who is a former NXT Women's Champion, would love to become a Women's Champion and put herself right in front of the line. A VIP pass right to the top. With no string, with the only string attached is that you have a year. But if we're being realistic, that's quite more than reasonable. It's quite more than enough time to come up with a strategy of having the right time to cash in. We've seen those who have waited till the last minute to cash in. It's all about the waiting game. When the champions least expect it, that's when it's going to happen. But you better play nice with whoever holds that briefcase, especially if you're the champion. If you're one of the two champions, whether that be Tiffany Stratton, whether that be Io Sky, you got to be careful. Some history that's been going on Raw the last couple months between these two. Rhea Ripley with a drop kick. Turns down Julia's momentum. The Eradicator looking to win her first ever ladder match and first ever Money in the Bank to put her right back in the world title conversation. Right back in the main event scene, right where she belongs. Talk about the power of Rhea Ripley. She just dragged Perez that was holding onto that ladder. We're really dragging the ladder that Perez was holding on to. And Rhea just dropping Naomi on that ladder. Rhea Ripley not holding back whatsoever, showing that there is no stop to the Eradicator. That bloody Rhea Ripley. Rhea Bloody Ripley, should I say, is not going anywhere. And the Prodigy is about to be on the receiving end of... Oh, no. This is a gut wrench turned into like a razor's edge, but it gets countered into a Hurricane Rana by Perez. Great counter by Perez. So resourceful as... Look at the resourcefulness of Perez as she takes out Rhea Ripley onto the ladder. And now looks up at her chance. Grab the ladder. Climb. And grab the briefcase. But you gotta wonder, is now the right opportunity? There's nobody in sight to really get in this situation. All 5 other competitors are down. Although I will say, Rhea Ripley being in the ring still is a bit of a concerning factor. Alexa Bliss knows the game well and takes out the Prodigy. And Julia with a forearm to a Bliss. Look at this. These two. Two of the hottest rising stars in WWE. You're looking at the future of this company on opposite ends of the ladder. And then they turn their attention to Rhea Ripley. That's really what you have to do. The biggest target of the match is Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley has been on top for so long, the last couple of years, that she's the obvious target to take out of the equation. And they work together to slam the ladder on Rhea Ripley. And they drop the other ladder. And onto Rhea. And now they're working together for the time being. They realize that Rhea Ripley's the big target. Got to take her fully out of the equation. Make sure there is no opportunity for Rhea Ripley to become the women's Money in the Bank holder. You got the main roster rookies who are nothing short of superstars. I hate, and honestly, I really hate using that term rookie. Julia's an international superstar. Roxanne Perez made her name widely known in NXT and has been making shockwaves since debuting on the main roster. I hate to use rookie. Despite being rookies on the main roster, it's really such a rough word to use. But meanwhile, Naomi, someone who is definitely not a rookie, a veteran in this match, realizes her opportunity is there to climb the ladder. A great opportunity, but Vaquer, for her first time in a ladder match, first time in Money in the Bank, pulls Naomi off the ladder. It's just so much that happens. It's really hard to find the right opportunity. It's really about kind of playing it low and staying low for a while until you find that right opportunity to say, okay, the gate's open. Now it's time to drive through and take my shot. That's when it happens. Oh my God. That dragon screw leaving Naomi writhing in pain. Vaquer with a suplex to Perez. And good luck for Naomi. Vaquer wisely targeting the knee, which is going to make it harder for Naomi to climb the ladder. And now it's Vaquer's opportunity, but Julia going to meet Vaquer. La Primera pulled down by Julia, who's got the octopus lock. Look at the submission hold. Obviously, there are no submissions in this match. What? Look at this. Stephanie Vaquer is climbing the ladder with Julia on her back. You talk about grit. You talk about power. It was... Oh, no. And a German suplex by Julia. Gotta give credit where credit is due to Stephanie Vaquer, who, despite competing in her third match in the last 24 hours, still is showing that she's got quite a bit left in the tank. Now is it Julia's time? Naomi, a one-legged warrior, a one-winged warrior, whatever you want to say. She's got to push through. And now it's Julia who's caught up, and Naomi just going to walk right over her. And Julia dumping Naomi. And Bliss with a drop kick. Bodies going everywhere. And Bliss, who cashed in successfully the first time around, would love to do it, would love to become Miss Money in the Bank again. But she's so close. But on her trail is the prodigy herself, Roxanne Perez. Bliss started to get her fingertips on the briefcase, but Roxanne Perez meets her as they climb the tippy top of the ladder. But Vaquer looks to make this a whole lot more interesting inside the ring as another ladder of equal size comes into play. And now Stephanie climbs up the ladder. Now this becomes interesting because on the opposite side of her is Naomi, who on one bad knee is doing everything she can to make the climb. While Alexa Bliss tries to pull down Naomi, Vaquer and Perez fighting on the other side. Now it's Julia who tries to get back up. Alexa Bliss going after Vaquer. Power bomb of Vaquer into the mat. And now it's Perez. It's Julia. But they both get knocked off the ladder. But Perez was able to catch her footing. And just nailing Bliss off the ladder. The steel of that ladder hitting the face of Alexa Bliss. Or vice versa, however you want to say it. Oh no. This is not going to be good for Alexa Bliss. This spells disaster. Oh, I felt that in my my gut. Literally. I'd say I have a bad gut feeling, but I think Alexa Bliss does after being dropped on her midsection first on that ladder. We need to get another look at this. Oh my God. Ugh. These two we've seen little bits of these two working. I spoke too soon. Never mind. Let me just stop talking. But in all seriousness, though, what I was going to say is these two are working quite well. But as I mentioned earlier, temporary alliances. But I would like to talk about how temporary alliances are temporary for a reason. They not meant to last. But look who's left. The puddle of ladders. And Roxanne Perez realizes her fate has been sealed as Rhea Ripley rises up. Mommy is back as she rises up and looks to be back at the top. Oh, what a wicked clothesline that takes out Julia. And another one. This is not what you want from Rhea Ripley at all right now. Not at this point in the match after everything that's taken place. And the power of Ripley coming into effect with a big boot taking out Naomi. As Roxanne Perez going to be punished for getting involved with Rhea Ripley, who dumps Perez into Naomi. As Rhea Bloody Ripley levels the playing field. And now the emotions are coming in. The 17,000 plus strong of the WWE Universe here in the sold out Intuit Dome in Los Angeles behind the Eradicator. Oh, this is about to be Rhea Ripley's brutality for Julia, who gets nailed into the ladder. I think Julia's body just started convulsing after connecting with that ladder. Rhea's got another ladder. That's a big ladder. That is right there. You climb that ladder, you're on your way to a women's championship. This is the 10th women's ladder match for the Money in the Bank. And look at that by Vaquer. Well, yes, the 9th. And Rhea Ripley wants to be back on top. She says Mommy's always on top. And with the newest additions of the roster, with Julia, with a Roxanne Perez, they've kind of gotten in the way of Rhea Ripley, who had her momentum going for her. Speaking of momentum, Stephanie Vaquer's momentum on the main roster could be stopped right now. Oh, no. Another idea for Ripley. And up. No. And now they're up on the ladder. And there it is. Look at that. From Stephanie Vaquer, who slams the face of Rhea Ripley. Take your shot. Take your pick. Because Money in the Bank is in your grasps. Stephanie Vaquer is all alone. But Perez. Look at this, Roxanne Perez. Like a snake slithering her way through the garden. Finds her way to prevent Stephanie Vaquer from retrieving the briefcase. Face first. Nails Vaquer. And now it's Alexa Bliss who climbs the ladder. Now you've got Naomi back into the mix. What's left in the tank for any of these 6 women in this contest? Vaquer now going to return the favor to prevent Roxanne Perez from retrieving the briefcase. Oh my. Vaquer. Guess you could say she's living vicariously. Oh. But Roxanne blocks. Vaquer was trying to fight through Perez to get to the top. But Perez, who fights back, and now it's Alexa Bliss on the opposite side of things, going at it with Naomi as Naomi prevents Alexa Bliss from furthering her climb to the top of the mountain. That proverbial mountain that is this ladder that has the Money in the Bank briefcase above it as it swings and sways back and forth, just waiting to be retrieved as the key to the future of one of these 6 women. Oh my God. On opposite sides of the spectrum. Double code red. 1 for Naomi. 1 for Vaquer. 4 women out inside the ring. We've got code reds on the ladder. Alexa Bliss to Naomi. Roxanne Perez to Stephanie Vaquer. And meanwhile, Julia looking to come in and pick up the pieces. Julia now finds herself with a great opportunity. But will she fully capitalize on it? Now what? There's just bodies laid out everywhere. This would be the opportunity to climb up the ladder. Julia, what's she thinking? And now it's Julia looking to make the climb. And Julia points at that briefcase, but did she waste too much time repositioning? She wanted to make sure it was positioned right. I mean, she would have been on angle, but was there too much time? I mean, that just comes with the damage and the wear and tear on the body when you compete in a match like this. She's got her hands on the carabiner, but Perez is back up at the top. And these two go at it. This is 14 feet up in the air. The thing is, one of these women will stay up. One will crash and burn. One will become Miss Money in the Bank. Julia now looking to do it. Can she unclip? Roxanne pulling on the hair. She's got a handful of that hair of Julia. But Alexa Bliss pulls down Perez. Look at Rhea Ripley. You hear the audience in favor of Ripley. Uh-oh. Julia gets caught in a riptide. And Alexa Bliss takes out Roxanne Perez. We saw a little of this earlier than coming face to face before things would turn around. And now, these two women have quite the accolades, quite the resumes in their tenure with WWE as they pull the ladder back and forth to center it, to climb the ladder. Who is going to make their climb? Rhea Ripley got her hands on that briefcase, but it's Alexa Bliss who fights back. Naomi looking to push both of these women off the ladder. And onto the ladder that was set up in the corner earlier by Julia. Bliss, Ripley down in the corner. Naomi with a chance to become Miss Money in the Bank, to become a women's champion once again. She's all alone. Nobody is around. There is nobody to stop this. Naomi is at the top, and Naomi is Miss Money in the Bank. What a win for Naomi. Oh boy, if I were Io Sky, I would watch your back. Naomi can cash in anytime, anywhere for up to 1 year. And that is going to be the longest year of Io Sky's life, as long as she's still the women's world champion. And you thought what happened here was Ripley and Alexa Bliss with two of the biggest resumes in WWE going at it. And then what would happen is Naomi would get involved, take her shot, and would claim her crown, claim the contract, so that she can be your 2025 Miss Money in the Bank. And now, with the 100% success rate in the back of her mind, there's a very likely chance that Miss Money in the Bank, Naomi, is soon going to either be Women's World Champion or WWE Women's Champion. A tough moment for the likes of Stephanie Vaquer, for a Roxanne Perez, for a Julia, for Alexa Bliss, for Rhea Ripley. Because Naomi took that attitude change of hers that she felt she needed, and she used it to push herself right back to the top. All right, we're heading to... Oh, wait. I want to read chat. Hey, Daryl, what up? What up? All right, time to edit that and get it posted. All right, I'm going to go to do a quick break while I upload this video for tonight. All right. And tonight we are on the West Coast. It's LA. We're in the Intuit Dome. Money in the Bank presented to you by Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Let's take a look at the reaction of what happened at the end of the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Taking place at Cosm in Los Angeles. You still see the little bit of chaos in the ring from all the ladders used in the women's match. At Worlds Collide, we saw a tremendous athletic contest between Elio Del Vikingo and Chad Gable. Well, as you can see, Elio Del Vikingo still the AAA Mega Champion. Look who's in the house. Mr. Iguana, who was busy earlier today at Worlds Collide. And Conan is on the left. Worlds Collide took place. Let's take a look at this. Octagon Jr. getting the victory earlier today in that 6-man. And then it'd be Dominic and Octagon Jr. getting at it. That was earlier today. Octagon Jr. has already been in a match today. And now he's got to do it all over again. And coming up next, it's all about the Intercontinental Championship as Dominic Mysterio defends against Octagon Jr. And Dominic Mysterio, earlier on today, he didn't have to have this match. Dominic Mysterio could have kept to himself and had the night off. But, you know, he was just letting his emotions get the best of him, as it seems to be like he does all the time. Dominic Mysterio chose to show up to Worlds Collide and get a little confrontational with a man who was already in a match. I'm talking about Octagon Jr. Octagon Jr.'s already competed tonight. Earlier today. That was at Worlds Collide, featuring WWE's newest acquisition and AAA. Octagon Jr. has a big opportunity tonight. Octagon Jr. had a busy afternoon, and he looks to have a successful night as well. And you see WWE official Eddie Arango hold up that prestigious Intercontinental Championship that has been held by some of the all-time greats. First held by the legendary Pat Patterson, has been held by some of the all-time greats like the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, The Rock, the likes of some of the current stars of today, and current champion Dominic Mysterio. You take a look at a guy like Triple H. And when I mean stars of today, a man who truly elevated the title, the Ring General Gunther. A title that has so much rich history to it. Guys like Ken Shamrock. And look what you just saw, that athleticism from Octagon Jr. Let's get another look at this. Beautiful springboard moonsault, catches right on target on Dirty Dominic Mysterio. Oh, that's not going to feel good for the family, Jules. Is Dirty Dom trying to tie up the back of the mask of Octagon Jr. in the... Oh, this is cheap. This is cheap. That was cheap. But honestly, I really don't expect anything less from Dom. I don't even know why. I still don't understand. I just can't comprehend. Why would Dominic Mysterio, a man who really could have just had the night off, why would he want to defend his title when he doesn't really care about anybody but himself? He had no reason to defend his title, but surely giving the WWE Universe something to be excited about, having his Intercontinental Championship put on the line with the potential to change hands to Octagon Jr. of AAA. When you talk about AAA, Worlds Collide took place earlier this afternoon, in which we saw AAA Mega Champion that you just saw in the crowd, Elio Del Vikingo, had an incredible masterclass match with Chad Gable of American Made. Unfortunately, Chad Gable fell short. But if you're Elio Del Vikingo, excited to have a great showcase with a huge victory over the WWE superstar. Oh, look at that spinning twist. And Dominic Mysterio able to kick out. Boot to the midsection by Mysterio. And a suplex. And now look what's coming your way. And you talk about Lucha Libre. Dominic Mysterio paying homage. Was looking to pay homage for that Three Amigos, paying homage to his uncle, the late great Eddie Guerrero. We saw that Michinoku driver, but not quite enough as Octagon Jr. able to kick out. And a drop kick by Dom leaves Octagon Jr. lined up in Mysterio's sights as Mysterio dials it up, but nobody home on that 619. And now it's Octagon Jr. steps out of the way. Enziguri. Up and over. All kinds of unique offense from Octagon Jr. in this match. This is the type of action you don't get to see too often. Such unique offense that we're seeing in this contest. Oh, that was a devastating swinging neck breaker. And Octagon Jr. looking to call his shot. But now it's Liv Morgan who's arguing with Octagon Jr. now forcing a distraction. That just allowed Dominic to take control. And now this is where Mysterio takes advantage. And there's the 619. And now Dirty Dom. It's all in his court. The ball is fair game. And the ball is out of the park as Dominic Mysterio retains. What a match for Dirty Dominic Mysterio. He wasn't even supposed to have a match tonight. It was very last minute. It wasn't until earlier today when Dominic Mysterio got into a confrontation with Octagon Jr. at Worlds Collide. Was there even potential for this match? And you saw a little bit of potential opportunities for Octagon Jr., but at the end, it was the distraction by Liv Morgan that would ultimately lead to Dominic Mysterio being the victor and retaining his Intercontinental Championship. And Dirty Dom making sure he leaves as Intercontinental Champion. But got to give props where props are due for Octagon Jr., who had a great showing on his WWE Premium Live Event debut. Dom said he was going to do it. He called his shot, offered to defend his title. He did just that, and he did it successfully. All right. Quick little break. And we are back. Unforgettable experiences coming your way next month, Saturday, July 12th, Saturday night's main event. And then Sunday will be History Making Evolution, the second edition of the all women's premium live event. Over 18,000 homes have been destroyed as the community works together. The Thomas family joins us tonight. They lost their homes and schools in the wildfires, and they are here tonight at Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank, presented to you by DraftKings. Play for a free shot at $5,000 in prizes. Use code WWE. Eligibility restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. See terms at dkng.com/MATB pool. And coming your way next, from one spectrum of the Intercontinental Championship to the other, we had our way to the Women's Intercontinental Championship, as this is as personal as it gets. Lyra Valkyria, who looked to Becky Lynch as a mentor, had her backstabbed. And when we come back, we're going to find our way into that contest. It's like kind of like 100 degrees in here. Aren't you hot, Becky? I am sweating just looking at what she's wearing. The man, Becky Lynch. She's done incredible things in this business. She's taped up. She's ready for a fight. I don't think Becky Lynch is taking this situation very lightly at all. A 7-time world champion, that is the man, Becky Lynch. You don't see Becky Lynch's fists taped up like that often. That I'm very focused on that. That was the first thing that I noticed about Becky Lynch. She's ready. She wants a fight. And if it's a fight that she wants, it's a fight that she's going to bring. And a fight-ready Becky Lynch is a scary Becky Lynch. This match presented to you by Seagram's Escapes Spiked and WWE's new Knockout Flavors. Oh. Whoa. Whoa. This is about the Women's Intercontinental Championship. And not wasting any time at all are these two. I mean, this is as personal as it gets. I'm surprised they even let the great Alicia Taylor get through her announcements. And we knew how this was gonna go. Lyra, Becky, they win the tag titles at WrestleMania, defeating Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. They lose the tag titles the next night in a rematch on Raw. And Becky Lynch's comeback, she thought it was ruined. Becky Lynch was upset that she lost the title so soon and took it out on Lyra Valkyria. The thing is, Lyra Valkyria has not one, but 2 victories already over Becky Lynch. Will the third time be the charm for Becky Lynch to get a victory over Lyra Valkyria? Or will the third time close out the series for Lyra Valkyria to finally shut up Becky Lynch once and for all? I mean, the stakes were high both other times. The first time these two competed, NXT Women's title on the line, Lyra won. Second time, Women's Intercontinental title on the line, and Lyra won again at Backlash. And she was blind in one eye. And a Bexploder by Lynch takes out Lyra. And a cover, but barely. And that was just a 1 count. Becky Lynch has her fists all taped up. That's how you can tell Becky Lynch is fight ready. The man feeling fight ready because she put the pressure on herself. And the one thing you cannot take away from the man, Becky Lynch, is that when the pressure's on, she rises to the occasion. Whether you like her or you hate her, you have to respect what she's done to become a 7-time women's champion. I mean, let's go back to WrestleMania 35. It was, wait, backslide. Valkyria and Lynch, manhandle, arm drag, counter by Lyra Valkyria. And a takedown, look at that by Lynch. You go back to WrestleMania 35. It's Becky Lynch, it's Charlotte Flair, and it's Ronda Rousey. Winner take all with the defunct Raw and SmackDown Women's Championships at stake, with Becky not being a title holder of either championship in that match, but would go on in the first ever women's WrestleMania main event. When WrestleMania was just a one-night premium live event, Becky Lynch would do the unthinkable and pick up the victory. And a 2 count there by Lynch on Lyra Valkyria. So my point of that is, Lynch is, no stranger to pressure. When the pressure's on, she rises to the occasion. And this is no different. By making this the last time she can ever challenge for the Intercontinental Championship, as long as Lyra Valkyria holds that title, that's what it is for Becky. But with this becoming as personal as it's become, who's let this get into their head more? You already heard Lyra say, now I'm angry. Now you've made me angry. But is that anger going to be used as focus? Is it going to be used as drive the longer this match goes on? Or will there be some emotional contention within herself? Is there going to be some issues there? Does Lyra Valkyria find herself overthinking her situation? Or does Becky Lynch, in the opposite end of the spectrum, does Becky Lynch, who already has 2 losses, find herself in this mental battle of, I haven't done it. Can I do it? And the frustration that can build up the longer a match like this goes on. It becomes mentally frustrating. It builds up. It clouds your mind. And it makes you wonder if I can actually even defeat this person. And now it's Lyra Valkyria who got a nice little combo there. And a nice power bomb for the victory, but it's no good. As Becky Lynch kicks out at 2.5. Lyra, it seems she was going after the arm of Lynch for a second, trying to think about what she wanted to do. But that exhaustion was starting to set in. You can see it in Lyra. That's where the exhaustion sets in. But she's pushing through. Looking for Nightwing, perhaps. But Becky breaks free. And sending Lyra into the top turnbuckle. Oh, but look at this counter into a roll-up to retain, to close it out. Went for a spinning side, like a heel kick. A backflip. Oh my God. Planting Lyra with that DDT on the top of the skull. And another near fall as Becky Lynch was so close to putting away Lyra to capture the Women's Intercontinental Championship for the first time in her career. Look at the way that Lyra got planted off that DDT. Absolutely destructive by Becky Lynch. The man is truly bringing the fight and not holding anything back in this big match. The title's on the line. It's Becky Lynch's last chance to challenge Lyra for the title. And Becky Lynch made that so. Look at those elbows from Lyra. Oh, look at the power. Lyra Valkyria. Lyra with a suplex. Oh. And a fisherman suplex. And a 2 count off that fisherman suplex. It was almost a perfect fisherman suplex, if you will. And neither woman willing to stand down. Neither woman is willing to throw in the towel, because that means giving up. That means showing remorse. That means showing that they don't have it, that they don't want it that bad. Till the last breath is what happens when you have such a personal feud like this. Moonsault off the middle turnbuckle, but Becky Lynch able to get out of harm's way. I want to get right back in it with that swinging heel kick up on the shoulders as Lyra looks for that Nightwing one more time. Becky Lynch double underhook, turns it into an arm bar, and she's got it locked in tight. Lyra in a deep arm bar and in deep trouble, turns it around, stacks Lynch. Oh, that was almost 3. Now going to counter with a submission of her own. Look at the torque. Look at the way that Lyra has this single leg crab. Look at the way the back is being torqued. Look at the way the leg is being bent back. And the foot on the head of Becky. There's pressure being put on the neck of Lynch into the mat. The pressure, the back of the leg being hyperextended. The way the back is bent. Lyra's really targeting some of the major muscles in the body of Becky Lynch now. And that can create the weakness the longer this match goes on. And a slide through with that drop kick through the top and middle rope to Lynch. And a crossbody takes that Lynch on the outside on the floor. And Lyra doing everything she can to stay on the gas. But right now it seems that Becky Lynch is laid on the announce desk. Lyra, that split second that she took for like a little breather, it almost seemed, gave Becky Lynch a chance to turn around. But Lyra turning things around again. Look at these Kawada kicks. Brutal. Holding on to that Intercontinental Championship for a quick second. Almost like a quick recharge to remind Lyra what she's fighting for. What she's fighting to keep. And that leaping leg drop as Lynch was draped over the barricade. And a nasty landing. A nasty connection. And that collision could lead Lyra to victory, but Becky counters with a powerbomb in midair as she caught Lyra, but Lyra kicks out. Lyra drives through the pain, just like she drove that leg drop right onto Lynch. I don't even know where Lynch was able to counter. That's just veteran instincts there. That is literally the pure definition of veteran instincts. When you realize you're in deep trouble, something kicks in. When you want something more than life itself, there's just a light that switches in your brain that goes just bam. It's go time. With 17,374 of the WWE Universe here in the Intuit Dome, they are watching this incredible Intercontinental title match. It is Becky Lynch who is looking to shut out Lyra Valkyria and take the Intercontinental Championship. And if she cannot do so, she will never challenge Lyra Valkyria for the title as long as Lyra holds it. For Lyra Valkyria, she looks to stop Becky Lynch and make sure Becky Lynch stays away from her title, making sure that Becky Lynch can never get a 1 on the 2-0 that Lyra has over Becky Lynch. Lyra really looking to put Becky Lynch away. This could be deep trouble. This could be a disastrous moment. But Becky Lynch counters. Oh my God, a manhandle slam off the middle turnbuckle to crown a new champion. But Lyra is not done yet. Becky's face says it all. The shock, the disbelief, the realization that there is a lot more to Lyra Valkyria than what she may have accounted for in this contest. What a fight between these two. It's the look of frustration that starts to build in. And I mentioned earlier, when it comes to frustration, that builds a cloud over your mind that can prevent you from staying focused on the target at hand and can make you lose control over having a strategy. Having a strategy is how winners are made. Anger gets you absolutely nowhere. Oh my God, and a manhandle slam on the floor. And now Becky needs to get Lyra back in the ring. And Jessica Carr with that count at 6 already. Lyra trying to stay to... And Becky wisely rolls into the ring to force the rope break. Or force the count, rather. Look at that Nightwing out of nowhere. Where did that Nightwing come from? Pulling out deep. Just when you think you're drowning in the deep end. A life raft. A lifesaver comes in the form of a Nightwing. And at the count of 9, both superstars make the count. And this match continues. You gotta think, if this match had ended right then and there, how devastating that would have been. Since the get-go of this match, these two have shown that this is going to be a match you're not going to forget. This is going to be a match that is going to show just how personal it's been. Now Lyra and Becky exchange blows in the center of the ring, going tit for tat. Who's going to pull the upper hand here? This is where the tides can be shifted. This is where control is so important. Oh, Valkyria was looking for another Nightwing. Becky Lynch, roll up, roll up, roll up. 2. Lyra. And Lyra sent into the turnbuckle, or sent in the ropes, rather. Oh, counter. Rolls through. Becky. And Becky, she had the tights. Becky with a handful of tights. Becky Lynch outsmarting Lyra Valkyria this time. Becky Lynch came to play. Becky Lynch came to fight. And Becky Lynch played a little dirty with a handful of tights for a victory. And you can see the frustration, the disappointment in the eyes of Lyra. Let's get another look at this. First, it was that roll-up by Lyra. Counter. Let's get the look, the full look at the tights. Handful. She's 100% got those tights. One thing is as clear as day is the angle of Becky Lynch with that Women's Intercontinental Championship on her shoulder. A heartbreaking loss for Lyra. But as part of the agreement, Becky Lynch with a smirk on her face because she knows now that Lyra has to raise the hand of Lynch. Unfortunately for Lyra, her reign has ended. The inaugural women's champion is now women's intercontinental champion is now the former women's intercontinental champion. Now is being embarrassed and humiliated. She doesn't want to. I don't blame you, Lyra. I wouldn't want to do it either. I got morals too. And there we go. Lyra does it. She holds up Becky Lynch's arm. And Becky pulls Lyra again. Lyra already did what she said she was going to do, but now Becky Lynch, she's just trying to just soak it in. Becky's just trying to really just egg on Lyra and make this really worse, just rubbing it in. This is heartbreaking for Lyra Valkyria. A hard-fought match. I get the feeling this might not be done between these two. She's saying you better strap it around my waist. We're already crowning a new champ. Now she wants Lyra to do it. This is... And the humiliation as Lyra wraps the Women's Intercontinental Championship that she's fought so hard to defend. Oh, look at this! Do what you gotta do! And a Nightwing, send your message! Becky got what she deserved. You want to egg somebody on? Well, consequences come your way. That's karma. And Lyra held up her end of the bargain, but Becky Lynch just wanted to rub it in and make it worse for Lyra. Becky may have won the match, but Lyra's the one who's standing. I get the feeling this feud between these two is not over. This is the 17th premium live event that's been held in Los Angeles. A host of 4 WrestleManias and the second WWE event in the Intuit Dome. With over 17,000 in attendance, it's sold out. It's been an epic crowd since the get-go. From the women's Money in the Bank being won by Naomi. Oh, wait a minute. Kourtney Kardashian and Travis Barker in the house. The celebs are in the house here at Money in the Bank. Coming up next, it's all about what's about to be in live action, live and in living color. It's the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. And it's coming up next. Guess what time it is? It is time for the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Money in the Bank is brought to you by Cash App for all of your financial needs. They've got you covered. Let's go down to the great, the one, the only, Alicia Taylor. The future of WWE in Seth Rollins' hand. If he wins the Money in the Bank, that is a scary sight to think about. With Paul Heyman, Big Bronson Reed, and the unpredictable badass Braun Breaker, all as a unit with the Money in the Bank contract in play, if Rollins has the power, he's truly has the future in his hands, truly becomes a wild card for either champion, whether that be John Cena or main event, Jey Uso. Rollins, who has got to be the big target of this match, a man who's done the unthinkable. He's already done the big hit. He's done the big one. He's won the Money in the Bank back in 2014. It's literally $5. Can I show it? If you can't pay, really? Bruh. I'm not showing the show. I don't do that. I do commentary. I don't do that here. And you look at this man. Of course, I'm talking about Penta, who has made huge shockwaves throughout the WWE since making his debut back in January. Penta defeating Chad Gable, Dragon Lee to qualify for this match. This is Penta's first Money in the Bank match, but is no stranger to ladder matches whatsoever. So let's not count out a guy like Penta. Penta's got a lot of momentum behind him heading into this match. This should be interesting to see new collisions in this match that you've never seen before. When have you seen Seth Rollins and Penta? All kinds of new possibilities can happen in this match. And can and will happen in this match. Yes, it's a commentary stream. Read the title. You can kindly leave. El Grande Americano defeating AJ Styles and CM Punk, two of the best this industry has ever seen to qualify for this match. You know what? Thank you, fuck you, and bye. Look at your pick. You look like, I don't even want to, you know what? I'm not going to even start with you. You're a waste of my time, honestly. You're that much of a loser that you are arguing with a 20-year-old, a 23-year-old, when you're probably like 40. Are you that much of a fucking loser? Get the fuck out. A 40-year-old. Where is this motherfucker? So I get him the fuck out of here. Unwelcome. Get the fuck out of here. Go heckle somebody else. I ain't got time for your shit. What a fucking mark. What a loser. I am not the one. I am not the two. You can get the fuck out of here. I got shit to do. All right. Sorry about all that going on. I am not in the mood to deal with hecklers tonight, as you can tell. So I'm just going to give people a piece of my mind going forward because I don't care what you have to say. I'm going to chase my dream with or without you. Solo Sikoa. A man of destruction. I have a full beer. Why would I want to look like a stupid redneck? Anyways, Solo Sikoa looking to win his first ever Money in the Bank ladder match. Brings some more gold to the Anoa'i family. Well, at least more so on the unliked side of things right now. Solo on the unfriendly side of things, whereas main event Jay is the world champion. That could honestly be really interesting. The possibility of Solo Sikoa winning the Money in the Bank ladder match and then cashing in on his cousin, on his brother, that is, on his older brother. What am I even saying? Alex the Lion on YouTube, welcome on in. Thank you for tuning in. You can't have LA. You can't have Money in the Bank in Los Angeles without everybody saying LA Knight. Yeah. That's what it's all about. You see the briefcase up at the top. And it's about Money in the Bank. It's about putting yourself in a great position when you feel like your career's not going where you want it to go. This is that opportunity to make it happen. This is the opportunity where you have the chance to go from not sure to having the entire division watching you. You have both champions worried about you at all times, being very wary. You know, I get a little bit of humor out of Rollins being caught in the center of all this. He chose to put himself in a place of all these attacks. He chose to put himself in a place of being at the top, of wanting to be the face and the future of this industry. And where is that getting him? Taken out of the equation first. And Solo's laughing, but LA Knight doesn't seem to be. Neither does Andrade or Penta. And Solo Sikoa mocking LA Knight and mocking Penta and mocking Andrade. But Penta with a super kick. Oh, and that back elbow. And a neck breaker takes out Solo Sikoa. LA Knight. After last night, after the words LA Knight had to say on SmackDown, it feels like there's a lot in favor. The megastar who takes out El Grande Americano. We saw Chad Gable wrestle Elio Del Vikingo earlier, who many believe is who's under that mask of El Grande Americano. That is not yet to be seen yet, and there is not 100%. There is not sufficient enough evidence to prove that fact, although you can say at the same time that, you know, there is the potential they have the same body frame. And Penta with a super kick to Rollins. Penta, a man who shows zero fear, a man who is no stranger to these situations. When push comes to shove, when it comes to taking risks, he flies, he soars, and he scores. As he takes everybody out on the outside on the floor. But I may have spoken too soon as El Grande Americano gets back in it. And using that ladder to take out Rollins. Then for Knight. Then for Solo. Laying waste to anybody else that isn't El Grande Americano. That ladder. Look at the way that Americano is setting up that ladder. And Americano gets countered by Penta. And El Grande Americano, he's got a big factor into this match. There's not much known about him. All we know is that he's undefeated and that he's a member of American Made. That's what we know about him pretty much. And then he will do whatever it takes to win. So there's those factors involved in this. That undefeated streak of El Grande Americano, that's at stake here. Nice Enziguri there. Oh, and Andrade. Oh, that was Rollins. And speaking of Andrade, he gets laid out by Seth Rollins. And Rollins having some flashbacks as he looks up at that briefcase, looking to do it all over again like 2014. But El Grande Americano was looking for a German suplex as he grabbed a hold of the waist, but Rollins counters. Looking to take El Grande out of the situation. But this is not good for Rollins, who gets planted on the ladder. I don't know. Is that ladder tall enough? I don't think that ladder is tall enough. Oh, what a shot by Solo. Solo getting back into the mix. And sending Americano right into the ladder. Oh no. Whatever Solo's thinking, it could be very, very dangerous for El Grande Americano to get slammed onto the ladder. And now mocking Americano. I think that's the one time people actually like Solo. But you know who they like a lot more than Solo? And seems to be the fan favorite tonight? Is a man with everybody saying LA Knight. Like I said, LA's own LA Knight. And a super kick to counter. Solo Sikoa doing a lot of mockery in this match. But does it work out for Solo in the end? Will it work out for Solo? That's the question. And an inverted DDT. And LA Knight is right back up. You want to... whose game is it? I can tell you there's an elbow drop from Knight. LA Knight looking to do it, looking to put it away. But Penta looking to meet Knight there as these two fight back and forth. Meanwhile, looming in the background is Rollins with another ladder. That could be the change of pace in this match. Adds another factor. That ladder looks a little bit more the size of what can reach that contract, I'll say. Think Rollins has a better understanding of what really needs to be done to grab that briefcase. Whether you like Rollins or not, he at least understands perception of how big of a ladder you need to actually reach that briefcase, might I add. And now Solo introducing a third ladder. And now there's an opportunity for all 6 men up at the ladders. All 6 men. This is where things can change. High risk, high pressure. There's a lot to pick at. A lot to take out in the situation. Let's not forget steel plate and the mask. This is the right night to do it. If you're El Grande Americano, who gets hung up and dropped down by Rollins. It's still LA Knight. Up, but gets pulled down by Solo. LA Knight and Solo Sikoa have past history. Samoan Spike to LA Knight and a pedigree to Penta by Rollins. Rollins, Sikoa. I think these are 2 of the most hated people in this match. So this should be interesting to see them go at it. Not opposed to seeing how this one plays out. And now it's Rollins and Solo exchanging blows. Who's going to want it more? Who wants this? Who is going to take it between these 2? Solo calling his shot with a Samoan spike to Rollins. Rollins ducks. Rollins ain't going to go down that easy. One more kick. And Rollins is not going to be taken lightly. Not in this situation. Not when he has way too much knowledge. Not when he is the biggest threat. Not when he knows way too much about how these matches go. Rollins saying he needs to win. The future. He can control the power of WWE with that Money in the Bank contract. Trying to pick up Sikoa. Sikoa blocking. Oh no. Sikoa perhaps thinking a Samoan drop, but Rollins gets down. Drop toe hold sends Sikoa onto the ladder. And a stomp. Lays out Solo Sikoa. Perfect moment for Rollins. But a scary sight if Rollins capitalizes to take on the future of WWE. And plague it with his perception. And Rollins realizes now this is it. He's the only guy in the ring. Positioning himself in the right way, but not too far behind is El Grande Americano, who comes back into the fray. Americano looking for an ankle lock. It also seems like he's dumping Rollins down. This is going to do a lot more damage because all that blood is rushing to Rollins, who's high above. It's going to make Rollins very dizzy. But now Andrade. Now what? What is this? What is Penta now doing here? What are we going to see here? What in the world is this? Sunset flip bomb by Andrade. And through the ladder, Rollins goes at the hands of Penta. Bodies laid out. Talk about a fireball moment. Let's get another look at this. Bam! Sunset flip bomb and a superplex to Rollins on that ladder. Penta may have taken some damage too. And you can hear that this is awesome chants. Penta and Andrade, who were tag team partners last night on Friday Night SmackDown, are now the only two men in this ring right now, and realizing it, they look at each other. Two men who have the utmost respect for Lucha Libre style, what it means to be a luchador. It runs in their blood. And you know what they want to run through their blood? Gold. They want the briefcase that holds so much potential for their careers. Feeling like a dark horse. Feeling now completely defenseless is Penta, who gets taken out by Andrade, but still hanging on. Andrade again nails Penta off the top of that ladder. Penta, who gets ripped off. And Penta climbs the ladder. But Andrade again is there to stop it from happening as he slams that other ladder into the back of Penta. Way to be resourceful. When you know what you've got, you play your game. Andrade, no stranger to this match at all. Neither is LA Knight, who's back into the mix. But he gets taken right back out by Andrade. And now it's Penta once again trying to make the climb. There's just no stopping Penta. He's like a man possessed with one goal. That's just to climb the ladder, retrieve the briefcase, even if there's other people around him. No. That might come to a halt completely if this connects by Andrade. No. No. I don't even want to watch. Penta! Mexican Destroyer on the ladder. Talk about snap into a neck breaker. That definitely is going to leave a mark. Mexican Destroyer, another look at it one more time. with zero fear, cero miedo. There is no stop. There is no telling what Penta is willing to do, how far he is willing to go. There's just no limit to this man. And to spoil the party is Solo to make sure nothing happens. Just mocking. Solo Sikoa doesn't like games, but ends up playing some of his own. Solo getting brought out by LA Knight. LA Knight, who's had his fair share of issues, as I mentioned earlier, sending Solo into the barricade. LA Knight's got a ladder. But what does he have in mind with it? It's a gigantic ladder. Oh, no. Oh, boy. This is not going to be good. What a shot by Sikoa, catching Knight. Oh, nope. Fake out. And bam! Spine rattling Sikoa into the steel steps. And it's Penta. Once again, he keeps rising up. I'm starting to think Penta might be a phoenix because it keeps rising up when it keeps going down. But I may have spoken. Oh, sunset flip. He just saved himself from what could have been fate, from what could have been fatality. He's a man on a mission. Can he shake through it? Can he push through the pain? Penta, who was closing in on a victory, but El Grande Americano gets back in it. And Rollins now taken out. You know, he's giving Gable energy, but it can't be Chad Gable, can it? We just saw Chad Gable earlier today in a grueling match. So there's no way Chad Gable could be moving the way. There's no way El Grande Americano could be moving the way he is if he was Chad Gable under there. That's what I'm thinking, at least. You know, but there's also multiple sides to the party here. And what now for Americano? What is he thinking now? And El Grande Americano, I don't know why he's not taking his opportunity. He's the only one who's really on his feet right now. Oh, there it is. There's the special fireball ladder. Fireball. And this is what he wanted the Creed brothers to hide. And now it's coming in at the right time. Like a helicopter. Everybody taken out. Can you imagine if El Grande Americano, who's only been around for a few months in this business, would go from being an unknown name to becoming a household name? He's literally made his pro wrestling debut within the last few months. Made his WrestleMania debut only barely 2 months, like not even 2 months ago. And he's already about the chance to be Mr. Money in the Bank with potential to be world champion. But that might be shot down by fellow luchador Penta. Headbutt. Penta's all alone, but he's a little weary. But he had the briefcase, but he didn't have enough energy to pull himself back up before Rollins could do anything about it. Rollins back into it. It's a really big ladder. Penta trying to kick down Rollins. Penta's just struggling. Oh, come on. And there's that metal plate. There it is, the metal plate. He's going to win this thing. Rollins, who had that carabiner for a second, was looking to unhook the briefcase. This is as intense as it gets. This is a make or break for these two men. Rollins falls down. Penta, make your climb, make your stake, make your mark. But wait, what is this? What in the world is this? What is this? What in the world? Oh, come on. That is cheap. But I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of impressed. LA Knight lays out El Grande Americano. I don't even know what to say what we just saw. That was, I think, one of the craziest moments when you think everything has been done in a Money in the Bank ladder match that could be done. This is a first. This is an absolute first. And I thought I've seen everything. Look at this. Bam. That dang metal plate. And LA Knight like a kamikaze crashing into everything. And now Seth Rollins is going to steal it. Telling Rollins, make your climb. Take over WWE. But look who's not far. He's there. Andrade is moving too slow. Rollins has his hands there. Andrade realizing a shot of adrenaline almost allowed him to get up to make it just a little bit longer for Rollins before he can grab the briefcase. Penta back in this. Who would have thought? I can't believe Penta keeps coming back. This is incredible. Penta, an MVP, without a doubt, whether Penta wins or loses, the MVP of this Money in the Bank match. But MVPs don't matter if you don't win the briefcase. And Penta slides down. Andrade could do it. Can he get it down? Oh, he's swinging. He's a swinging. Rollins, Solo, both working to prevent Andrade from pulling the briefcase for the carabiner. And now Penta back in this. LA Knight back in this. What is this? Rollins is calling it. Heyman, Rollins calling for it. Oh, come on. Just when you thought this was going to go fairly. Oh my God. Breaker just nailed through. It's going to go this way. Of course it is. And there's nothing that can be done about it. Well, and this is exactly how Rollins had it all scouted. And Heyman enjoying every moment of it. That smirk on his face. Oh, God. Oh, my God. No. And spears right through LA Knight. And there's nobody here to stop this. And up at the top, Tsunami! Andrade has been crushed and battered. And now it's all left for Rollins. All that's left to be done is for the visionary, the revolutionary Seth freaking Rollins to climb and grab the briefcase. Who would have thought at one point you'd see Solo begging for mercy? Uh-oh. I think we may just have a little bit of family wars going on. Because JC Mateo and the United States champion, Jacob Fatu. What a clash we are about to witness. Oh my. Who would have thought? We're about to have 4 big meaty men slapping meat in the ring. Massive mayhem and money in the bank. 4 of the biggest stars. And I mean literally. These monstrous beings, larger than life athletes. They're not even in the match. Oh, now looking for a spear. Oh, but Breaker spears through Mateo. And now Fatu on the receiving end. Look at the power of Jacob Fatu! Pop-up Samoan and a suicide dive takes out Bronson Reed. Fatu! When Solo needed him, he is here. Solo's got his time. Just when you need your moment of glory, when you need to reach the top, who's in your corner? The Samoan werewolf, Jacob Fatu. Saying this is the ladder. This is the one. This is the chosen one for the briefcase, for the glory. And all that's left is for Solo to climb. You might as well say congratulations to Solo Sikoa. What? Uh-oh. I think, what? I think Fatu's had enough of Solo. Uh-oh. Jacob Fatu just screwed Solo Sikoa. Usually it's I love you, but tonight it is I hate you. And he's not done. By the way, there is still a match going on. I wanted to bring that up. There is still a match. And look at the beauty of the moonsault that takes out Solo Sikoa with pizzazz is the Samoan werewolf. Solo shouldn't have said what he said about Jacob Fatu. Karma. What did you think was going to happen? I don't even know what to say. What did you think was going to happen? Jacob Fatu is incensed. He's been waiting. It's been building. You can just tell this has been building. Oh my God. And a Uranage sends Solo through the ladder. Breaking right through that ladder. Well, I don't think Solo's. I gotta say, if I took my pick and if I bet $100 on it, I don't think Solo's gonna win at this point. I think his stake in the park is out of the game, if so to say. And Jacob walks out of here. Message sent. He's done with Solo. He's a man on his own journey. But now Rollins is all alone. This is Rollins now, who was looking to take advantage. Oh, God. There's nobody left. There's nobody left. Oh, God. All it is for Rollins. But look at what it is. It's LA Knight. And a clothesline. And LA Knight. Is it his night in LA? But Rollins behind. Oh, Rollins just slams the back of Knight's head into the ladder. Lost hope. Rollins gonna send a final message. Just when you thought there was hope, that Money in the Bank is going home with Seth freaking Rollins. There's nobody left. That's it. Rollins. And Rollins is Mr. Money in the Bank for the second time in his career. Seth freaking Rollins. You had to know something like this was possible. I didn't know how it was going to go in terms of the mix of emotions with Solo being taken out by his own cousin, Jacob Fatu. I never thought we'd hear the words, "I hate you, Solo," out of the mouth of Jacob Fatu, but nonetheless, Jacob Fatu cost Solo when you thought it was all Solos right there for Solos to win. It seemed LA Knight had a chance. LA Knight with that last minute rally, but it wasn't there. Rollins with a final stomp that would send him to victory. And now Rollins has the power that we all feared. This is what happens when you have muscle men like Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker and a mind like Paul Heyman in your corner. This is scary. Rollins literally holds the key to the men's division in his hand, and he holds it high. Paul Heyman is very pleased as he gives Rollins a hug. Now what? the landscape of WWE has just officially made its full change. After what we saw at WrestleMania, thought the landscape changing was something. Rollins is now Mr. Money in the Bank. Fanatics Games. Visit fanaticsfest.com to learn more. 50 icons, 50 fans. Epic Games, $2 million in prizes on the line. Money in the Bank, powered by Prime Hydration. Available at 7-Eleven. Go to drinkprime.com. Chance to earn $1 million. Let's take a look at Cosm, the interactive center where WWE fans are watching this event. An incredible experience, to say the least, to watch the show on the big screen. Thought we already knew it was going to New Orleans. Wow. Oh, didn't they say New Orleans next year? Did they change it? Huh. Well, nonetheless, WrestleMania 42 will be in Las Vegas, Nevada, Saturday, April 18th and Sunday, April 19th. Register now for pre-sale info. Back to back. Farrell, there's no party like a party in Las Vegas. But the thing is, the celebrations are going to be over after tonight, because when it comes to Monday, the tournament matches begin for the King and Queen of the Ring premium live event. This is where you got to get back in the game. And guess who making a return? WWE Hall of Famer, former multi-time women's champion, Nikki Bella. Jey Uso on Monday, after the big main event tonight, now he's got to worry about the ring general. It's going to be Jey Uso, Gunther, World Heavyweight Championship on Monday. Money in the Bank presented to you by Cash App. Cash App covers all of your financial needs. It's going to be Cody Rhodes and the World Heavyweight Champion. Main event, Jey Uso. They take on the Maverick, the social media megastar, Logan Paul, and the last real world champion, as he says, the 17-time WWE champion, John Cena. That's coming up next. Cody Rhodes competes in a match for the first time since losing his undisputed WWE Championship to John Cena at WrestleMania 41. Oh yeah, 17,000 plus. We're in LA. Yeet, 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 yeet. 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 Yeet, 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 yeet. Oh, yeet. Yeet, 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 yeet. Yeet. It's good for main event Jey Uso to be in a good mood. Because honestly, he's going to need all the positive energy he has to deflect the negativity that comes with the 17-time world champion and the social media megastar, the Maverick Logan Paul. Jey Uso, the world heavyweight champion, is going to have his hands full over the next 48 hours between this match tonight and however this match swings. He's got to defend the world title on Monday. Yeet, yeet, yeet. I got like no space to do it. Yeet. We already know that Cody and Jey can do this thing as a tag team. They've done it before. They've won the tag titles. But the same cannot be said for this mashup of a team of John Cena and Logan Paul, who truly personify the entertainment aspect of things. Well, maybe not so much for John Cena these days. At least, just John Cena feels so black and white these days. So grim, so dim. It's the Yeet Man and the roller coaster. I think they want an encore. Oh, never mind. No Yeet as Logan Paul decides to ruin the fun. Logan Paul doing his own video. Oh, he just pulled the drone? Logan Paul doing anything he can to go viral. Viral, yeah. There's one thing for sure about Logan Paul, that he's definitely viral, like an infectious disease that you just want to get rid of. But That's not to say he's not incredibly talented in the ring. His cockiness is just can be disgusting at times. Logan Paul has truly taken this industry as serious as possible. He's truly taken it by storm. Morgan and Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. WWE's official partner of Man, I feel like I'm having a hard time breathing. Because talk about a man who just sucks the energy out. Everything just feels so bland, so black and white, so just dead faced. There's no energy behind this man anymore. He doesn't care about the people like he used to. He broke the hearts of millions around the world. This is a big fight feel. On one side of things, you've got the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, and main event Jey Uso, who have been tag team champions before. On the other side, you've got this mashup of a team in John Cena and Logan Paul. You gotta wonder how that will play out. Are we really gonna get Cody Rhodes and John Cena right off the bat? Nope. Mind games. That's what this version of John Cena's been all about. It's the mind games. Logan Paul, a man who will do anything for views, a man who will boost his ego. Cody Rhodes and Cena now. Now it seems like we're actually going to get these two. They tie up collar and elbow. This is the first time we're seeing Cody Rhodes in a match since losing the title to John Cena at WrestleMania. What goes in the mind of a guy like Cody Rhodes holding the title for 378 days just to lose the title like that to John Cena at WrestleMania in the fashion that he did? You just gotta wonder, what is going through the mind of Rhodes right now? What does his journey back to the top look like? What does he want it to look like? And how does he expect to get there? There are a lot of questions, but this is really just kind of the start of it. This is like the first step. Teaming with a friend, a brother, and Jey Uso. Cody Rhodes now. And a shoulder tackle. Suplex coming up. Beautiful. Look at that. All the blood rushing to the head of Logan Paul. So Cody Rhodes comes back at Saturday night's main event to prevent Logan Paul and John Cena screwing Jey Uso out of the world title. That was the whole premise of what was going on. Cody Rhodes needed to make sure that John Cena didn't mess anything else up for WWE. John Cena already threatening to leave as champion if he holds on to it by the end of the year. And what you just saw was a big right by Logan Paul, who makes sure to nail in an extra one with Extra Impact. And talk about Extra Impact, that one can counter the other two with extra heat. Went for a clothesline, but Jey ducks. It's almost like John Cena is using Logan Paul as like a puppet. Think about it this way. John Cena was like, well, I just want to ruin WWE by having the world title on a social media megastar. That's really how this match all came about. And then you get to the main event of Saturday night's main event. Cody Rhodes returns. The challenge is made. And now we're here at Money in the Bank. So where do you go from here for Logan Paul? Logan Paul obviously still has his eyes set on the world title. And it really, if you think about it, it's got to be the old, if I win, I get my shot. But, I kind of have to beat pin the champion. And right now, showing that's possible after a beautiful blockbuster from Logan Paul, taking out main event Jey Uso, makes the tag to Cena. And now, world champion and WWE champion. These two had different paths to WrestleMania, but both were the final two in the Royal Rumble where Jey would eliminate John Cena. When John Cena, still had a good part of him left. When I feel like the John Cena we knew and love died the moment he lost at the Royal Rumble. That is the moment. The moment both of his feet touched the ground and Jey Uso was declared the winner, that's when it died. That's when the goodness, the world record of Make-A-Wishes died in John Cena. And now John Cena's become the man who would find a way to take advantage of the beatdown, that stomp by Rollins at Elimination Chamber to go on to WrestleMania and then use The Rock and Travis Scott as his way in. Travis Scott playing a role in helping John Cena become a 17-time WWE champion. Let's not forget, Cena's also a 5-time United States champion, 2-time tag team champion, former Money in the Bank winner, 2-time Royal Rumble winner, 2008 and 2013, where he would go on and defeat, ironically, The Rock at WrestleMania 29. But it's ironic, all the issues he had with The Rock and would become the very thing he swore he would never become. There's all kinds of irony in this match. Logan Paul, who is very familiar with this part of town, spent a lot of his time in LA. Logan Paul taken out. Jey was hoping to get a 3 count, but not quite where he wanted it. And now tagging in Cena after a near fall on Jey. Both get some nice stomps in there on Jey, wear the world champion down a little bit. Ryan Tran, the official of this tag team match. Cody Rhodes upset that there was some leeway there. There's that count to 5 and making sure to do it before the disqualification. John Cena knows his limits. He knows how much he has before he gets disqualified. He likes to play a little dirty. Clothesline to Jey. Cena keeping it slow, keeping it methodical, with a smirk on his face, enjoying the condition that our world champion is in. John Cena's got the smirk of hey, I'm the superior champion, you're nothing. That's just the look, that's just the vibes I get from this situation. And Cena with a shoulder tackle now. Jey Uso just laid out. Jey Uso is just being isolated from a very fresh, very almost impatient Cody Rhodes, who desperately wants in this tag match. He desperately wants in. He needs in, especially because Jey is just running out of gas in the tank. Jey is worse for wear. And another shoulder tackle lays out the champ. That second shoulder tackle. But Jey's starting to find a little bit of hope. Fighting back. But ducks is Cena. And down goes main event Jey Uso in the main event of Money in the Bank. It's tag team action. And Cena saying, you can't see me. Because what did 5 Fists say to the face? 5 Knuckle Shuffle. We're already halfway through the retirement tour of John Cena. Jey, sleeper, locked in deep. And now with Jey, he's got it locked in deep. Cena fading. This could be exactly what Jey needs. This is exactly how Jey Uso won the world title at WrestleMania. John Cena breaks free by sending Jey into the corner. That was a desperation by Cena, realizing he was starting to fade and desperately needed to get this hold broken before things got worse. Jey is not where he needs to be. He needs to somehow make that crawl. and make your mark, make your march, make your crawl, turn things around. Logan Paul, now the legal man, and prevents a tag from being made by standing right in the way, standing in between Rhodes and Jay. And a big boot takes out main event Jey Uso. And Paul with a split-legged leg drop and a kick out at 2 by Uso. And now it's Logan Paul looking to wear down Jey with this chin lock now on the world champion. Jey, who needs the support of the WWE Universe right now. He needs all he can get. Cody trying to get the crowd to rally. This is the time. This is the place. This is where it needs to be for main event Jey Uso, who was so close to making the tag. But fingertips, no. But Logan Paul just had too much of a grip, and Jey is now all the way on the other side of the ring. Things are not looking good for Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso right now. John Cena and Logan Paul enjoying this. Logan Paul with these heavy shots in the midsection of Jey. The heavier the shots, the harder it's going to be for Jey to breathe, right? Because the midsection, the pain is going to be there. He's going to feel it. His body is becoming more exhausted. The weight is bearing down. Tag's been made. Rhodes gets knocked down off the apron. Cody, who's frustrated, and now it's costing him. His own tag team partner is taking the brunt of that distraction. And now it's Cena, who's the legal man, going to take full advantage of the opportunity now. And Cena gets a nice suplex there on Jey. I'm going to look right at Rhodes as he goes for that cover. But Jey able to kick out at 2. And now it's John Cena on that chin lock. You saw it from Logan Paul. Now you're seeing it from Cena. Doing that chin, getting that chin lock, keeping Jey grounded to prevent him from building any kind of momentum, to block out the oxygen. This is how you break a man. But Jey, a man who's overcome all the odds, it's hard to break a man like this, his spirit. Jey, who despite everything he's been through the last few moments of this match, the last few minutes, still fights to be fingertips away, but gets pulled back. And Cena wanted to take Cody Rhodes down, but a shot by Rhodes. And it ends Enziguri. How much did he get of that one? Cody Rhodes trying to motivate Jey, trying to almost give an adrenaline boost. And tap in, share his energy, and force it into Jey. But there's just no hope. Cena tagged. Logan was tagged, and then Cena won it back in the match. And this is where the disagreement comes in. Logan, I think you might have just bitten off more than you could chew. Meanwhile, Jey Uso is about to make the tag. And the tag's been made. They made an absolute unfortunate mistake. Cody Rhodes snap power slam. Paul goes down. Bam, with a right to the 17-time champion. And a Cody cutter to Cena. Logan Paul dumped to the floor. Cody's on momentum time. And a suicide dive. And Cody, a one-man machine, realizing after all the brutality that Jay has had to endure, he's all on his own, looking for a crossroads. Cena sends Rhodes and a Logan Paul, but now an AA, much like Mania. But Jay saves the day. And Logan Paul up. Oh, there's the wear and tear of the match. What an attitude adjustment. Oh. And now look at this. Crossroads. Logan splashed Cena because Rhodes realized it. Uh-oh. Spear by Jay. Bodies are laid out. Who's going to capitalize on the opportunity? Let's get another look at this crossroads right here. All the momentum. That splash. Rhodes realized it. Miscommunication. But the communication is clear. Jey Uso hits the money with the spear. You see Cena starting to stir. Starting to get back up. Rhodes starting to move. Jay working his way back up. Beaten and battered have these four men taking each other through the trenches. Jay and Cena, much like the final two of the Royal Rumble, these two slug it out once again. Like it's deep waters. And a knee by John. John was looking for another AA. A super kick by Jay takes out John. What a forearm by Logan. And now he's egging on Jay, who fights back with a shot of his own. Now these two trading blows back and forth. What a uppercut. We've already seen these two go at it before. Logan Paul tried to capture the undisputed WWE Championship during Cody Rhodes' reign, but it did not work out well for the Maverick, as Cody Rhodes would go on to hold the title for 378 days. Meanwhile, Logan Paul looking to make sure he ends Rhodes this time, looking to pulverize the American Nightmare, and he does just that. What is he doing? Why not just pin him? He wants a drone to get this one. Logan Paul looking for a moment. Oh. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Look at that view. Oh, and an Uso splash. That was an angle. What a way to witness that. The drone survived. I don't think anybody else did, but the drone did. The drone is the third man. An AA for Jay. And an AA for Rhodes. For victory. But Rhodes stays alive. And Rhodes, who stays alive in this, will not stay down. Even after a pulverizer and an AA, multiple AAs, might I add, throughout this match. Cody Rhodes, a man who's driven by honor, who's driven by everything that John Cena used to stand for and more. John Cena, a man who is now driven by hatred, by bitterness. Who's legal? I mean, there's just chaos going on right now. I don't even know. Oh boy, John Cena's got some plans for both commentary tables. Not sure what, but whatever it is, John Cena wants to take Cody Rhodes out of this match completely. John Cena looking to end Cody Rhodes. John Cena looking to stick it to the WWE Universe. Cena was looking for the AA, but a spear by Jay. Oh, that table just showing just how much in the past year, when the new reinforced tables were introduced, how much they can hold up. And that felt worse. You heard the thought of that. That's just nasty. The back of Cena has got to be feeling that. Meanwhile, Logan Paul moonsault. The table gets broken through. Logan Paul, springboard moonsault, takes out Jay. There is no telling what can happen, what will happen. Logan Paul looking to pull out all the stops. Let's get another look at this beautiful moonsault. Looking for a highlight reels, looking for a highlight of the night is the social media megastar. Meanwhile, Cena with the title in hand. Cena has the title the same way he won the championship. It's going to be all over again. All over. It's just like WrestleMania. Look at that. Just like WrestleMania. Who is that? Who the hell is that? Who is that? Oh my God! What? It's R-Truth! Truth is back! You heard it! We won Truth! And he just laid out Cena! John Cena could not handle R-Truth! I thought R-Truth was done! What? Truth has returned. Cody Crossroads. What a turn of events here at Money in the Bank. And Cody Rhodes has pinned the WWE champion, John Cena. Could this be Rhodes' path back to the WWE championship? Jey Uso showing signs of this match. I thought he was done. Let's go take a look at his moonsault, by the way. First, it's the moonsault. Cena with the title to Rhodes. Shades of what happened at WrestleMania. Then a masked man takes out Cena and just decks him and just unloads some shots. And a man in a hoodie who would reveal himself to be none other than R-Truth, a man who looked up to John Cena as his childhood hero and would be embarrassed by Cena. There were headlines that R-Truth was done, that he was gone, that his contract was not being renewed. And the WWE fans spoke. They wanted R-Truth, and that's what they got. They wanted the truth, and John Cena found out that he couldn't handle the truth. As Cody Rhodes and main event Jey Uso are victorious and Money in the Bank. Cody Rhodes has been the WWE champion. Main event Jey Uso has a date with Gunther on Monday with a world championship on the line. What a night. What a match. Well then, that was a shocker. I can honestly say, was not expecting that. I think we can all agree nobody expected that. You got your wish, James. John Cena and Logan Paul lost, which means Cody Rhodes and main event Jey Uso are your winners. However, Jey is going to head into Monday not at 100%, which is unfortunate. I want to thank you all on YouTube. Thank you all on Twitch for tuning in tonight. There were some issues with some people that decided to, couple of hecklers that decided to turn up on the Twitch side of things, so I appreciate you guys sticking with me through that. I'm out of energy. What can I say? I am totally wiped. There's nothing. There's nothing left. I will say C4 totally powered, totally wired right now. Bam! We did it. Money in the Bank. Next up, Monday Night Raw. That's on Yeet. I'm tired. It's been a rough week. I'll see you guys on Monday for Raw. Stay tuned. Tomorrow I'm gonna post the main event the match you just saw. I'm gonna post that as tomorrow night's YouTube video. Then Monday I'm gonna start recording. Then Monday I'm gonna record a couple videos for you guys, as well as Tuesday while I'm off of work. Get some more videos out for you guys. Keeping the daily videos going. We're almost there. We're at 277 daily videos. Only 23 days left. On June 30th, I will do it. I will complete the mission. Well, the mission was really 1,000, but 500 is halfway there. Half the journey is there. On June 30th, 2025, I will have posted videos for 500 days straight. Something I didn't think was possible. I didn't know if I was going to do it. There were doubts. There were times I didn't know. There was a time when I had to post 2 weeks worth of videos because I had no access to any devices whatsoever for personal mental health reasons that you guys can probably assume, and for things that I talked about in the past. It's out there. It's all out there somewhere. I'm sure that footage of me being in a talking about my time with my mental health issues is out there. Anyways, thank you all for all the love and support. I will see you all in the next one. Toodaloo.